Hello boys and girls, today we're going to learn subtraction and we are going to subtract 2-digit and 1-digit numbers and we are going to use the place value and regrouping to subtract. So let's take a look at our solvent here. Ari has 31 stickers. He puts 8 of his stickers in a scrapbook. How many stickers are left? Solve. Explain why your strategy works. So first we're going to use our cube strategy. So I'm going to write that here so we can see that is always going to help us with analyzing these word problems. So we are going to put it over here and let's look for C. C stands for circle the key numbers. So we are going to circle the key numbers, which are 31 and 8. Now we're going to underline the question. So that means when we underline the questions, we're going to find what the problem is asking us to do. How many stickers are left? So that means that's what we need to find out. Cubes. The next letter is B, which stands for box any math action words. So we are going to see that left is an important keyword because it is telling us that we need to use the subtraction because he puts in a scrapbook, he puts 8 stickers in the scrapbook. So that means they're not with him anymore, right? Because he had 31 stickers before and he puts 8 of his stickers in a scrapbook. So we need to subtract. So let's evaluate our steps. So that means our equation will be 31 minus 8. And we need to find the difference. Remember, difference is our vocabulary word. That means the answer to a subtraction problem. So that's what we're going to find. But before going that, I would like to tell you that we are going to use a subtraction poem because we are using our place value and regrouping to subtract. So I am going to show you let's take a look at our poem, and this is the poem we're going to focus on. This is called a subtraction poem. Okay, so let's learn subtraction. More on top, no need to stop. So whenever we have numbers, we put the numbers, align them in a way that all the ones placed are on one side and the tens on the other side. So I want you to look at the number that are on the ones place value. Look, if the number on the top is greater than the number on bottom, that shows that we have more on top. Here 6 is greater than 4, that means we have more on top. Then no need to stop, you're just taking away 4 out of 6. Okay, so you'll get 2 and we have 8 tenths. But let's think about the time when we do not have that option available, when we don't have more on top. That means that let's look at this problem. We have 63 minus 5 and you can see that 5 is greater than 3. That means we have more on the floor. Okay, so what we're going to do, if we have the number that is at the bottom in the place value is greater than the number at the top on the ones place value. So now we have more on the floor. What do? You go next door and get 10 more. So that means you're going to go to your neighbor and you're going to get 110 from here because the next place value is the tens place value. So you're going to get 110 from there. So before that it has the 6 tens. Now it end up having 5 tens. And this number, since you got 10 from your neighbor, before it was 3, after getting 10 it became 13. So, and now you're going to subtract 5 out of 13 because you couldn't do it when it was 3 only. But this is the second situation. But sometimes it happens that we have the number on the top and on the floor is same. When numbers the same, 0 is the game. That means when the top number and the bottom number is the same, you're going to get 0 as an answer. Because let's say if you have 2 candies and you ate both candies, you have nothing left. You have 0 left. So 2 minus 2 will give you 0. So let's review our subtraction poem. More on top, no need to stop. More on the floor, you go next door and get 10 more. Numbers the same, 0's the game. Okay, so let's see how we can apply this. So first, this is our equation, 31 minus 8. So we are going to write 31 minus 8 here. So this is our ones place value, and this is our tens place value. So let's look at number 31. It has 3 tens, and it has 1 1. The next one is 8. So be careful while you're placing them on a place value blocks. This 8 mean these are 8 ones. So I cannot write it over here, because if I write it here, that's going to show that I have 8 tens. But I don't have 8 tens. 8 tens means that it has a value of 80. But I don't have 80. I have only 8 ones. That's why I'm going to put this number over here. So 31 minus 8, and I'm going to write it like that. So this is my ones place value, and this is my tens place value. Now I am going to analyze and look what my numbers are in the ones place value. I'm going to look at both numbers and see which one is greater. And I'm also keeping an eye on my place value, my subtraction poem. Actually, I'm going to put it down so it's easier for me to see, and you can actually look at it together as well. Let's grab the pen and let's start our subtraction. So here, do we have more on top? It says more on top. That means this number over here has to be greater than this, but that's not the case. So this situation is out. Okay, let's look at the next situation. More on the floor. Does that mean that we have this number greater? Yes, that's the situation we're in. More on the floor. So what do? More on the floor, you go next door and get 10 more. So that means this 3 tens now changed into 2 tens. And since it was 1 1 only, now by adding 1 10, it became 11. Now we can easily subtract 8 out of 11. So these are our new numbers. Now we have 2 tens and 11 ones. So we are going to subtract 8 out of 11. Okay, so one strategy that you can use, you can always count up starting from this number. You can use your fingers if you're new to the subtraction and you're learning about it. So you're going to start from 8. So keep opening your fingers. 9, 10, 11. How many fingers did you open? Open 3 fingers. So that means 11 minus 8 is 3. Now we have only 2 tens here and there is nothing, so 2 minus 0 is 2. So what is our difference? Our difference is 23. Now they also want you to know that how your strategy works. So that means our last part, which is solve and check. So if we are subtracting 31 minus 8, so that means if we add 23 plus 8, we should get 31. So let's try that, as this is the fact family. So let's see if that works here. So 23, the answer that we got, if we add it with 8, let's see, do we get the number that we start with? So 8 plus 3 is 11, and since it's greater than 10, so we need to regroup. We're going to put 1 1 here and the tens on top. Now 2 plus 1 is 3. And boys and girls, you can also see that this number matches with the number that we started. So that means our strategy works. This is a standard algorithm method. That means using the place value and regrouping. We have used it, and I want you to focus on the subtraction poem that really helped us figure out how to solve it. If we have more on top, no need to stop. More on the floor, you go next door and get 10 more. Numbers the same, 0 is the game.